The true test of a class isn't at the top of the ranking, it's in its depth. And the 2027s are as deep as a Christopher Nolan movie. Welcome into another Coffee and Curveballs, Cory McCartney, along with Shooter Hunt. And after diving into the class's new look top 10 in our last episode, it's time we talk key risers and some states that are making a statement. Shooter, each class is its own living, breathing thing. We talk about that overall depth, who's defining 2027s for you. How do you kind of look at this class as a whole as you spend more time with it?
Man, you already got me in a mental pretzel thinking about Inception. You throw the Christopher Nolan out there. But I think when you kind of gauge a class, how are they going to make it easy for us to evaluate? Who are the top shortstops? Who are the top arms? Who are the guys who can continue as starters? Who can really go get it athletically in the outfield and stick in center field? This class has a lot of that. And some of it we got to see at the future games, and they shine next to some 2026s. I can't wait to see what this super soft group becomes.
On to the risers, and viewers can find the full breakdown in your piece on the Prep Baseball site. Let's start with three players that worked their way into the top 20. Tennessee's Banks Addison climbs 52 spots to 13th. Alabama's Rocco Maniscalco climbs up 76 spots to 18. California's Logan Schmidt finds himself at 20th. That's up 50 spots.
Yeah, I mean, Banks Addison, there's some serious swagger to that kid. He expects success. It's very, kind of looks like Corey Seager on the field. Not quite as tall right now, but that's the way he handles himself. So I would think that he might be his favorite player because he looks like that in the box. Had a great time at the future games playing with an awesome Team Tennessee crew. But shine there, even more so, he's going to stick at shortstop. Every ball found the right spot in the glove, gets rid of it in a hurry, really athletic side to side. And at the plate, he can slow things down with quality swing decisions. Really like the upside there. Rocco Maniscalco, the dude can flat out hit. Kind of got a name. He should be from Jersey. He's got Rocco Maniscalco. He sounds like a guy from my neck of the woods, but can really hit. Son of a coach, gets out there, expects success. Another guy really shined with Team USA in their Australian friendly. Bat to ball skills are there, impact ability, switch hitter, continue to get better. Whether it's going to be somewhere on the infield with a chance to be a versatile defender. And then Logan Schmidt, who outstanding on the mound. I really like the way he swung the bat, which I think when you have a guy who's athletic at such a young age with a big frame who can control his movement patterns, the fact that he has that athleticism offensively, I think is going to really help carry over to the mound where he's able to slow things down, move well throughout his delivery, throw strikes, and the arm talent is clearly there. Big frame, gonna bet on a guy like that.
Staying within the top 100, let's look at some of the guys who made the biggest moves. IMG Academy two-way Kyler Message is up 57 spots to 34th. Texas's Drake Hopp is now 31st, a climb of 75 places. Then you got Illinois' Brady Bunick, a right-hander who's up 160 spots to 48th. California lefty Mariano Gonzalez, meanwhile, out here scaling Everest. He moves a staggering 204 spots to 56th.
Yeah, you talk about message and kind of similar to Grindlinger, the number one player in the class, two-way talent, left-handed arm up into the 90s, really quick arm, but also can swing at the plate. What I like about those guys is they're competitive. And Message goes out there expecting success. He's challenging himself at IMG Academy now. So he's going to go out there and continue to get better, but he really competes in game and expects to win, which is going to help drive that progression and development over time. Drake Hopp, son of a big leaguer. It is one of the sweeter strokes in this class right now. He's 6'3", 190. The frame is going to continue to develop, but really loose wrist, takes some great at bats. I saw him against some of the best arms in the country who are a year, 2 years older than his. He did not look out of place. No, he looked like he was applying the pressure at all times. Then you go Brady Bunick, a kid from Illinois. Illinois continues to just roll out nonstop arms. Bunick, has one of the silky smoothest deliveries in the class right now. The loose, quick arm, it's whippy, jumps out of the hand. As things come together, he has one of the higher upsides on the bump. And you can say the same thing about Mariano Gonzalez from California. That is not a comfortable at bat. I'm watching a lot of what he shows out there. Kind of reminds me of Christian Chamberlain, kid who was at Oregon State, striking everybody out into the Royals system now. Hopefully making a big league appearance next year, but we'll see. But it really jumps out of the hand. He goes out there and really creates some uncomfortable at bats for the opposition.
A number of new names hit the rankings, and within that top 100, you've got three new entries who have made some noise on the bump. California's Davis Wilson, Florida's Camden Boehm, and Kansas's Ty Schmeidler.
Yeah, when you have guys with clean arms like those three right there, you want to bet on that. The frames there, the upside, when we're evaluating what does the layback look like, what is the athleticism, how do they move, how does the ball come out of the hand? Those are all things, especially at this young age where the body's going through changes, things are still coming together. There's still some polishing that needs to be done, but those guys seem to have that type of upside where if they continue to develop at a certain pace, they have a chance to outpace a lot of the others in their class. So really excited to see what they have to bring to the diamond as soon as next spring, I'm sure, at the varsity level.
Finally, California's Parker Leoff, an LSU commit, comes in at 80th, 696 in the 60, 104 exit velos, and a swing that I know you love.
Yeah, another guy really shined with Team USA. Dan Valero did a great job checking those guys out. He also heads over to some of the California fall events where he got to show that off. Not to mention he's at a big time program down in Southern California where he's only going to get better. But left-handed hitter, covers the plate, adjustability, can change planes, loose wristed. The frame's going to continue to get stronger. He already has a great foundation with that athleticism. And the more and more he gets that work in and get those at bats against premium arms, he's only going to get better.
When it comes to talent hotbeds, we understandably put a lot of focus on the likes of California, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, but the other states have something to say in 2027. You put together a list of must follows, and it begins with the aforementioned Banks Adams and the Volunteer State.
Yeah, Banks, Addison, Tennessee. I believe they have 5 or 6 guys in the top 100. They're outstanding. KJ Anderson, you got Jaden Pearl. Those are just some guys who have kind of that superstar upside. Will Banks, there's just a group. Will Brick, I'm sorry, a whole group that can really jump and be the number one guy, right? We're looking a lot of times when we have such a strong state, you look at he's number one in the state, he's number 6, and the differential is not that much. They may be tiered horizontally versus vertically. Those guys are 1A, 1B, 1C. It's a really talented group, easy to bet on. The state of Tennessee continues to roll out not just draft prospects, but impact college guys. You look at the Tennessee Vols win the national championship. They're spread all over the country. They're doing a great job. Can't wait to see what these guys do. Again, super softs. They already have some panache and some swagger out there. You go, panache. What do you think about that, Corey?
Je ne sais quoi, we'll throw that too. Yeah, we're going to throw them all out there, all those cliches. So Illinois' top-ranked player nationally is Tennessee-bound Sebastian Wilson at 25th. What do you like about the overall talent for this state in the class?
I think when you're looking at cold weather states, that there's certain ones that you just kind of expect them to roll guys out. The state of Illinois is one of those. It's a town or a population dense state. They do a great job for all different pockets, right? So Southern Illinois has tons of talent. You get the Chicago area, they have tons of talent. You head up north, coastal to Wisconsin, you're on the border. Those hitters, GRB, Sticks, those guys playing up there do such a great job. So when you're looking at Illinois, you're going to have something that comes out of there, right? When I sit down for the first time, we'll be doing the 2028s. What is Illinois doing? What are these cold weather states? Because I think the pro clubs have shown a propensity for going after those cold weather talent because they know that there's some value there with upside. But at the top, I really want to talk about my guy, Sushi Wilson, who I thought took some great at bats this summer. He's pretty physical, still growing into a developing frame that I think is going to be really impactful. What I loved about him were his takes, right? He was able to slow things down as a cold weather kid against some big time arms late in the summer. He should not be looking that comfortable in the box. And he did. There's some fun that he has with the game. I think he's only going to get better, and he's going to set really pace this class with what they're going to be. And there's multiple top 100 guys. There's 3 in the top 100, 14 overall in the top 300, and there's going to be more that come from the state of Illinois.
All right, what's the go-to sushi order for you?
I'm simple. I would be like a shrimp tempura roll. That would be what I get.
I like it. So we talked Graham Keane, the nation's number 2 out of Mount Lebanon, in our top 10 breakdown. But I mean, honestly, he's just the start for a really deep Pennsylvania class.
I think that talking with Dan Savit, Charlie Spano, Nate Auger, we're very excited about this 27 group in the state of Pennsylvania. And I think more than any other state, I circle Pennsylvania as a state that really allows guys to develop late. If you're looking for players who could grab some helium, or a Mason Miller who go to a D2, which the D2 programs in the state of Pennsylvania are outstanding, NAIA, D3, all over Keystone. Geez, the state of Pennsylvania is outstanding. So you can find really good prospects late because there's so many small little towns. I drove through Pennsylvania a lot this spring. All these little towns, I'm going 25 miles an hour. I'm used to being on these Jersey highways where I'm just whipping around, or like you in the state of Georgia going 80 all over
Right.
the place down there. Pennsylvania has lots of small pockets with some really talented players who are almost always two sport guys, football, basketball, hockey, whatever it may be, who have a chance to get better. Pennsylvania, along with Graham Keene, who really sets the impact level. Brady Guzzi, who's just a really talented two-way player. I'm really excited. Leo Knockley, a shortstop, can go get it. Kind of looks like Kevin McGonigal. Very excited to see what Pennsylvania brings to the table when we're all said and done here.
So Missouri has two top 100 players, but you got to go all the way down to 90th to find the first in shortstop Cole Chambers, followed by Missouri commit Chase Steiferman, 2 spots behind him. Where do you feel like the strength lies in the Show Me State for this class?
I am always excited. And what we had I was talking with Trevor Rosenthal, who was at our All American game, just finishing up playing part of those great Cardinals teams, those World Series teams. And what has come to be expected out of the state of Missouri are some absolute fireballers. And I really thought that Rosenthal was one of the first guys who came out of the state up close to 100. I think he got over 100 when guys were just not doing that. And now we come to expect it. Even a guy like Tanner Houck, who went down to the University of Missouri and did a great job there in school. But expecting those arms, there are going to be 6'4", wide-shouldered right-handers who come out of this class and are just 95 to 98 at some point. Expect it, get on board right now. That's why I'm locked in on Missouri. There's a full handful of guys, not to mention a ton of athletes in the outfield who I'm getting excited about as well.
It's like Iowa and Wisconsin producing offensive linemen. That's exactly
There
the
you
same
go.
thing. Yeah.
Tight
So
end you.
finally, Alabama boasts 3 top 100 players led by the aforementioned Rocco Maniscalco, who we already discussed, a whopping 9 overall in the national rankings.
Yeah, it's Maniscalco kind of sets the tone there, but Jamarcus also does a great job. Right-hander who's electric on the bump in the low
Yeah.
90s with a vicious breaking ball, which you got to see a lot at Lake Point this summer. Excited about this group, but the depth again. The state of Alabama does a great job talking with David Sharp, Austin Sharp, who are going to be the dudes, who are going to be the Carter Johnsons, who, hey, we like this guy a lot. We're getting on board early, but we're going to have to see it a little bit. And then they continue to prove it each stop here. And now we just expect it out of Alabama. So really excited to see what these guys bring. I can't wait to get down. And I know that the Sharpies are going to be banging on my door, ready for those preseason kickoff classic events down there in Alabama.
Well, the crazy thing that when we talk about depth in this 2027 class is we haven't even seen this list expanded to 500 yet. So buckle up, folks. Make sure you're following all the Prep Baseball channels for insight analysis like you can get nowhere else. Until next time, I'm Cory McCartney. That's Shooter Hunt, and we'll see you at the Diamond.